All right, we've heard from Graham Egler about the possibility that actually Chris Hipkins, while the coalition deal's being worked out, gets another crack at being Prime Minister, gets re-sworn in as Prime Minister, because we've just run into these timing issues. But overall, we had a non-corrupted election, and I haven't seen a huge call from anyone saying we was robbed, recount. No one's marched on Parliament and stormed the beehive. Our democracy has worked, though not without the odd bump. And here to talk about the running of the election is the guy who was running the election, our Chief Electoral Officer, Karl. Karl, how are you doing first?
Good morning, Sean. Look, we've still got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
We've got to support these recounts. We've got a by-election to hold, and then we've got to do a thorough review and report back to Parliament on the election.
Yeah, so there is going to be a review because, Graham Egler was saying to us this morning, this change in when people could register and everything threw up this weird situation where we might have to swear the Prime Minister in again on Saturday if we don't have the new government. There are a few little quirks that have emerged, aren't there?
That's a process that I think's always been there, potentially. With the last election, 2020, it took 20 days to get the results out as well.
Yeah. You have also announced yesterday some mistakes. Not huge. Can you, in general terms, tell people what they were and what appears to have gone wrong?
What we found was the party votes in 3 voting places had been misallocated. That shouldn't have happened. We have checks in place to do that, and we missed those, so we apologise for that. So we're just going through and double-checking again we've got all of those allocation of votes correct.
And how many votes will we be talking about?
Well, the ones we discovered on Tuesday, in one voting place there were 4 votes that were wrongly allocated, another one there were 9, another one there were 5.
Okay, so we are not talking, this is just going to change the proportionality of Parliament, and they were party votes, so they're not going to change electorate outcomes.
No, the overall results didn't change. The overall party vote changed by an extremely small amount, and it didn't impact on any of the electorate candidates.
Yeah. Look, young Ben went down on the day you announced the result of the final count, the specials. He said even on that day you were having to reissue some of the figures during that press conference.
Yeah, what we found in one of the tables that there had been an error, and so we wanted to make sure that was fixed and everyone had the right information.
Yeah. Karl, the review obviously is going to be comprehensive, and I would imagine that review is going to, throw up any structural issues. But in real terms, when we look at this overall, it worked, didn't it? It worked. We did not have a corrupted election. No one can sit there and say we were robbed or something dodgy went on.
Look, I'm confident in the official count because it's overseen by scrutineers and the final certificates are signed by our returning officer and a justice of the peace. But look, we need to have a thorough look at that. We need to have a thorough look around how long it takes to count, and when we report back to Parliament, we'll identify ways we can address some of those.
Okay, concerns. So the report back will also say, here's how we can do it better next time. Do you think do you intend to look for ways that you could speed the system up in terms of the county of specials?
Absolutely. We need to have a look at our processes for doing that and seeing how we can do that. I think the thing here is we've seen quite a shift in voters' behaviours around enrolment, so we also need to look at how we can really encourage people to get enrolled well before voting starts. That's an important part of this as well.